Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you an interesting setup I have. I do not have an Ethernet cord long enough to connect my personal computer to internet, and therefore I also don't have a Wi-Fi card, by the way. Therefore I had to come up with some other solution in order to connect my computer to the internet. And bear with me, it's weird, but I'm going to be showing you what it is, and maybe when you want to do it yourself. It does help a lot with getting rid of wiring. Internet speed's a little bit slower, but hey, it works. Let's get to it right now. So this is my setup right here. This is an old Linksys router that I have now set up to be a Wi-Fi repeater. This right here is an Ethernet cord plugged straight into my computer. This is the power cord going to this. And this is simply set up as, it's not a router. When you're setting it up, you can configure it so that it picks up one of your old Wi-Fi's and configures it to just simply repeat the signal after taking it in. So when you're doing this is not going to show up as a wireless network. It's actually going to show up as an Ethernet network. Okay? And I'm going to go through how to set up one of these real quick. And maybe you can get one of your old routers, set that up, and enable you have wireless Ethernet. This solves quite a bit of problems for me. Okay, so I just got my computer up. I am now plugged into the router, which I have factory reset. To factory reset most Wi-Fi routers, there'll be some sort of button on the back. It might say reset, it might be red. Usually you'll have to press this for some amount of time. I happen to know that for Linksys, there is a small red button you have to press and hold for usually about 10 seconds. After that, your router will begin factory resetting itself, and it will actually take maybe a minute or two, but after that you should be able to connect to your Wi-Fi-ish through Ethernet. So here we have network 2, we're connected, which is what that means, but we do not have internet. Now that's actually expected because we're not plugged into any sort of internet provider. The only things I'm connected to right now are power and my computer. So I should not actually be getting internet right now. That'd be pretty weird. Once you have your computer connected to your router, you can now go on to some sort of internet browser. For this I use Google, and you'll have to type in the IP address of your Wi-Fi router, your second one, not your main one, your second one that you're using as a repeater. So for Linksys, this is 192.168.1.1. So we'll just go ahead and get that. Some routers use 192.168.0.1. I know that there's others use 255 or 215, something like that. I don't know. I've actually never used one of those. The only ones I've ever used are 0.1 and 1.1. So for Linksys is 1.1. If you do not know the IP address of your router, go ahead, look that up online. It'll give you the IP address of your router. So once we get here, if you're not using Linksys or if you're using any other firmware than me, it'll probably look a little bit different than this, but it should be along the same lines, like reading and accepting the license terms. Probably every router has this. You have to accept it in order to move on. Now from this, depending on what you're using, you can go ahead and move on, set up your whole Wi-Fi thing, but it's actually going to stop you in the middle and say, alright, well, we're not detecting your internet, this isn't working. And it won't let you move on until you actually get internet on your router. But we're not connecting over internet, and in fact, I cannot connect. So what we're going to do is go down here to manual configuration, and once we do this, it'll ask you to sign into your router. For Linksys routers, the password is admin, all lowercase. Depending on what router you're using, it'll be different. You may be able to look at the bottom and it may have the password right on it, but usually that is the network password, not the router password. They are different. So for example, my router password is a whole bunch of letters and numbers that have been put together in random order, but the router password is admin. So For that, you also go online, look up the brand of your router. For me, it would be Linksys, and then look up router password. Don't look up network password. Look up router password. That'll give you the default password for your router. I do believe that each brand uses a exact same password, so for Linksys will always be admin. You'll get to the screen, usually you'll get to the screen saying your connection is out, you don't have a connection, you need to set up a connection, click here to retry. We're not going to do that. We're actually going to log in and then type in the password for the router. So here we are, admin. Once you type in that password, if it pops up here, you don't really need to save it. You'll get all your tools, you'll be ready to set up, and this will actually be broadcasting a network signal. Now, you will not get to connect to this and go on like YouTube. So for example, we can't get on. No matter what, we're not going to get on. We're not plugged into the internet. We're not actually doing anything. We are broadcasting, but we don't have internet getting broadcasted. To fix this, and you do need a different router that is already connected to the internet and broadcasting a wireless signal, you should find somewhere in your tools the type of network that you're on. So Linksys, go into connectivity, internet settings, and then you'll see the type of internet connection here. DHCP is mainly what you'll always be using. That is the broadcast of wireless and Ethernet network. We're going to change this to repeater mode. So if we go edit, then we can change this, and we're going to go to wireless repeater. So you'll have to type in the network name of your working Wi-Fi, and then choose your Wi-Fi band. This gets a little confusing. So let's say you have 2.4 and 5 GHz and you're in a separate room. You're probably inclined to say 5G. It's faster, which is true, but if you're not within close proximity to your broadcasting Wi-Fi router, which is broadcasting Wi-Fi, as an internet and connection, 2.4 may actually be better because 2.4 gigahertz is able to go farther and go through things like drywall insulation, go through rooms, go farther distance than 5 gigahertz. This is slower, but it does go farther. 5 gigahertz is simply stronger. You would think stronger goes through more things, but it doesn't. So, if I were to actually pick 5 gigahertz, and I'm well over 20 feet, I'm probably around 30 feet from my actual router, choosing 5 gigahertz may actually be worse than picking 2, even though it's faster. Simply because 2.4 can power through the walls easier. So I will be picking 2.4 this. You should really just balance how far you are from your router. If you're really close, like literally one room away, 5G would probably be fine and would get you better speed. But if you're all the way across the entire house, 2.4 would probably be your best bet. Now, after entering your connection name from your broadcasting network, you'll also have to enter the password. You go in your security mode, choose a personal one, and then here you can enter your password. So I'm just going to enter all my information. Okay, so once you've moved on, you may get this message warning you that you're switching your network and telling you that you will not be able to re-access this router. You technically can't access it remotely, but you can access it if you are still plugged in. And for this method, you're always going to be plugged in, so you technically can get back to it. And I will explain that in the end, where you can go back into your router and fix everything if you mess something up. But it may give you a message warning you, do you actually want to do this? For that, just go ahead and click switch. After waiting an insanely long time, you'll probably be back to your sign-in part. And once you're back to your sign-in part, you'll actually have internet. Well, you should have internet as long as you enter everything correctly. Your network is now acting like a repeater. It is taking the original broadcasted Wi-Fi and then accessing it and then repeating it back into your own router and rebroadcasting it. And because it's rebroadcasting, you actually plug Ethernet into it too. So this allows you, if you have like a really short Ethernet cable, you can connect to your wireless network anywhere in your household. As far as getting back into this, let's say you close this out, you go back in, you open up your wireless browser, 192.168.1.1 is not going to work anymore because this router is no longer broadcasting that original signal. it is broadcasting the new one from your actual router, which for me is 0.1. Okay? So how do we get back in? When you're setting up your wireless network, you should bookmark your home page. When you get all done setting up your router, it's going to bring you back to right here. Make sure you bookmark it. Control D. You can bookmark it there. As you look up here in the bar, you'll actually see this is not the wireless address. This is the actual Wi-Fi router I have that is acting like a repeater, and this is a modified IP address because it is repeating. It is not using a repeater address. So because I bookmarked this, I can reload this at any time, log in, and change any of the settings that I want to. For example, I believe I can bring this off of repeater mode. I can, and bring it back into DHCP, which is your regular, same old broadcasting network, where you plug in your modem. So that is it for the video. I now have internet. Okay, we got YouTube, we got Facebook, we've got what else we got? Spotify. You know, we got all our internet now. So happy me, and I hope happy you. Maybe this might have solved some of your problems. Maybe you had a short Ethernet cord. You needed help somehow connecting the Wi-Fi. You don't have a Wi-Fi card for your desktop PC. Maybe this helps you. A lot of people in old routers sitting around the house. So that is it for the video. Let me know what y'all think. Give me any comments in the section below. I really want to know what y'all think about this video. Be sure to check out the rest of my videos too, because I got some pretty good stuff on there. I'm going to be doing a little series in a little bit explaining how to build a full computer. So that'll be really exciting and hopefully really fun. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe, like, tell me what you want for more videos. I'll make it happen. Thank y'all for watching. See you next time.